I'm Joe Hauser, the percussion instructor for the Bellefonte Area High School Marching Band. This video is meant to accompany the drumline audition packet for marching band. All students who intend on participating in the drumline must do an audition. Although all students are accepted into the drumline once completing the audition, the staff use the results of the audition to determine what instrument, snare, tenor, bass, or cymbals, you will be placed on. There is no guarantees of a certain instrument prior to auditions. First, I'd like to go over the audition packet. The audition packet is in 3 sections, sections A, B, and C. The first section is section A, rudiment exercises, There are 3 exercises on the page. You have to play each exercise twice through. Before you start an exercise, please state what exercise you intend to play. Section B is rudiments. There are 7 common rudiments that you will need to demonstrate. You'll need to play at least 4 measures of each rudiment. As with the exercises, we ask you to state prior to which rudiment you're playing, which one you are playing, so the judges know what we are judging. Section C is an optional section. This is a snare solo or excerpt. It is taken from a piece called Chops R Us, and there are 2 bracketed sections, measures 1 through 12 and measures 29 to 40. You're to play both sections. You can pause between the 2 sections and not be penalized, but if you pause somewhere within those brackets while you're playing, that will count against you. Of these 3 sections, I mentioned that section C is an optional section. So if you're only being wanted to be considered for snare tenor, you must do section C. If you're just looking to try out for the drum line, you're new to the drum line, or you're a new freshman coming up, you really only have to do sections A and B. Those 2 are required of all auditionees. All right, next, how you are judged. We use what's called a rubric. Some of you may have come across that in school, have teachers that have judged you on using a rubric system. Our rubric has 10 categories, and you're judged 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1 being the lowest, 4 being the highest. For example, here I have under the category of dynamics, a 4 would be someone who performs all dynamic markings correctly. Number 1 is someone who disregards all dynamic markings. When it comes to this rubric, it's stated in the packet, if you only do sections A and B, you will only be judged on the first 6 categories of the rubric. If you choose to do section C and do all 3 sections, you will be judged on all 10 categories of the rubric. Next off, I asked freshmen and new students. As I mentioned before, there are 3 sections, but only 2 are required. I really encourage the new people that are maybe considering starting this year in drumline, who may have never played percussion before, do your best with those 2 sections. I know that it may be a lot, and when you first look at it, just make your best effort. As I told you before in this video, you will be in the drumline as long as you do some sort of video and submit a video. You may end up playing bass drum cymbals, which is more common with new people coming into the drum line. But once you're in the drum line, and we will work with you from there. We are very willing to work with new people, and same way with freshmen coming up. Sometimes freshmen may hesitate because it's a big jump from middle school to high school, and they're really uncertain. If you're a freshman percussionist, I do encourage that you try section C. We would love to see how you would play with a snare excerpt, or how you would attempt a snare excerpt. But all in all, you must at least do sections A and B. Next, your audition this year is done via video. You will ask to do a video that is one continuous video. So you will videotape all sections A, B, or A, B, and C, depending on the categories you do. Some tips I have for when you prepare your video. Let me see. We'd like you to announce, as I mentioned before each section what you're doing, or before each exercise or rudiment. Try your best to play in a standing position to show us proper posture and technique. Those are things that you're judged on in the rubric. Please play with obviously good technique. Any recommendations you've been made. Older students, we tend to want to see the technique that we've been harping on you about in Drumline and working with you. New people, make your best effort. The only other thing I have for your video audition is new this year. It came to light last year when watching some of the videos. We highly recommend that when you practice to do this video that you use a metronome. However, using the metronome during the audition is not allowed. A metronome is a practice tool. If you look over my shoulder, I have one sitting here on my music stand. You use that to practice with. You don't perform with it. An audition is a judged performance. So you should not be using a metronome during the video. I recommend that maybe before you run that and record your video, play everything through with the metronome and then do the video without. One other thing I have about the audition videos is the due date. The packet that was sent out, the due date was May 16th. We've pushed that back a day to May 17th. So you actually have an extra day than what it states in the packet to prepare your videos and submit them. We will let you know at a later time. Right now, we're really working on getting everything put together. You will be notified how to submit those videos. If you have any questions, you can email me. My email is in the packet on the bottom of the second page. I went over the video tips. One other thing I'd like to go over. On May 10th after school, there is going to be a clinic. Everybody's welcome. Returning students, new students, 8th graders coming up. You're all welcome to come to this clinic. It's a chance for you to ask questions and maybe give you some tips and ideas on how to prepare your video and how to prepare your audition. It's not required. If you don't come to the clinic and you still submit a video, it's not going to count against you. But this is just an opportunity for you to come and work with me. And I'm hoping to set it up in a situation where we can spread out. Obviously, we still got to do this social distancing and masks and all that kind of stuff. So we'll spread out, and I can go around and kind of work with individual people, getting them ready for your audition. I really gear this clinic towards the new people and the 8th graders that are going to be coming up as freshmen, but I do take anybody. But there again, I don't want upperclassmen to feel like if they think that they just want to go home and prepare this video on their own, it's not required for you to come to this clinic. It's just kind of what we call an open rehearsal. You can come, I'll share tips and ideas, you can play a little bit. Like I mentioned before, some new people, maybe you don't even know how to hold the sticks. I can help you on how to hold the sticks and where to play on the practice pad or the drum. So, and the only other thing I have is just email me if you have any questions. I'll feel free to answer it. The only thing I'm not going to do is really tell you the exact how to practice. Everybody should be working on their own. I'm not going to give anybody, I'll give you little tips, but I'm not going to sit here and help you work through the whole audition packet. It wouldn't be fair for me to do that for one person and not another. So, I may just give you a little tip or idea, but I'm not going to really work you through the whole packet. I expect you to do that on your own, and we just see how you do in the audition. So I look forward to seeing your video submissions for audition. And like I said, if you're somebody new that's just thinking about joining Drumline, don't be afraid. We accept all types of people. Everybody's welcome. Drumline is a family. You'll find out when you come aboard. and we accept everybody. So, as I said before, I look forward to your video submissions. And if there's any questions, my email's in the packet, but I will give it to you here. It is jhauser, all lowercase, 2 at basd.net. And don't be afraid to give me an email and ask me a question. For things like this, there are no stupid questions at all. So please email me. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see your videos.